What's good? Welcome to First String Podcast presented by Bet Rivers. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the First String Podcast. Give us that good thumbs up. Hit the bell to enable alerts for new content just like this. On today's episode of First String Podcast, we'll have the one and only Chris, the Rooster Russell, joining us. And we will talk about Eric Bieniemy being the offensive coordinator. It is franchise designation time. So we'll play a little game of tag, sign, and trade with a couple of players that we will have. We will also discuss the NBA All-Star Weekend. And it is a Victory Tuesday because the DC Defenders won. So we'll talk a little XFL. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to get right into it. Let's go. Welcome back to First String Podcast presented by Bet Rivers. I'm sorry you guys still caught me jamming. First off, do not forget to like and subscribe to the First String Podcast. And don't forget to give us that good thumbs up. Hit the bell to enable alerts for new content just like this. First String Podcast is presented by Bet Rivers. Download that Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play. All right, so listen. Today's Tuesday. A couple of people had a lot of time off, and they're running a little bit late from work. But one person that's never late and always happy to be here, that makes this place look very beautiful, is the one and only Lady A. How are you, ma'am?
Hello.
All righty. Ant and Sad are running a little bit behind, but it's okay. You know, Ant will probably jump in the chat and say it doesn't text and drive, but hey, he'll be here as soon as possible.
Indeed.
Hey, look, the chat is off the chain already, right? And I got to say thank you all. Okay, so, we always jump in. Oh, Chris Russell's running a little late as well, but he will be here as well. You know, I don't tell you guys things that are not happening. All right, Bruce Glass first in the building, and then followed by Metaphor, who said, well, what's up? Remember that back in the day, the commercials? Yeah. Droopy's in the building as well. Droop's in the building. Of course, I acknowledge Bruce for being the first in the building. And Droop says he had 3 winning tickets this weekend. He posted them all. It was awesome. So pockets are kind of tight. I like it. And Metaphor speaking to Droop said, what's up? Oh, that's me. Telling Droop and everybody what's up.
You okay?
I am. I got glasses on and stuff like that, so you know.
But you still messing up. It's all right.
It was me. It's me.
All right. It's all right.
So John said, "Does this answer your question, pick? Toothpick? Does this answer your question?" Because we were texting back and forth, and he sent me something very long that he wants me to read. So, and I said, "Why? Yes, it does." He has me crying and laughing. And here he goes. He says, "Please read that, man. I really need you to." Do that. And Go Caps, I'm a little bit upset with you right now because when you come into the building, you're supposed to say youngest P1 in the building. I don't see that.
I thought I saw her put that up there.
Maybe I don't see it. No, it was the first time. She got to do it every time. She is our youngest P1. Yes. And Steelers Queen Coco's in the building. She says hello to Lady A and everyone here, of course. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So right now we are being joined by the one and only the Rooster. You can catch him on the Team 980 Monday through Friday with his partner Pete. Pete on Sports. Let's bring in Chris Russell right now. How are you, sir?
Hey guys, how are you? Toothpick, what's going on, pal?
Not too much. We
Good.
got
How are you?
Hey.
we yeah. Well, we got a full slate here. The other two co-hosts are running a little late, but they will jump in as soon as they get here.
Well, I was too because I was having technical issues getting into the studio. I think StreamYard did not love me doing my podcast, finishing up all that, and then switching over. So I
Right.
apologize for being a little bit late, but I guess better late than never. I'll be late for my own funeral.
Trust me, I'm not even rushing my funeral. I want to show up at least a month and a half late.
Okay, that makes sense.
That
makes sense.
Like, I just want to be at least a month and a half late. Yes. So, Chris does the Team 980 with Pete, right? And they have a great show. But he also does the Locked On Commanders podcast, right? And for some unknown reason, well, I'm not going to say it's unknown. I'm going to say we get really, really lucky. When things happen, it just so happens that I have the right people lined up to come on and discuss it, which I would like to say it has something to do with how far in advance I think, but I can't really take all of that credit. I can't. Oh yeah.
You could take it, Toothpick. You can take it. I mean, you're a big swinging, you know what? Like you're walking around with Doc Walker. You're getting the grand tour. I mean, the last time I saw you, you're traveling all around. You're coming into town. You're like royalty. I mean,
I don't know about all that.
Like a birdie told me that Doc took you out for a fine steak dinner at an expensive steakhouse. Is that right?
That wasn't me. It must have been lady.
No, you left me. He left me. I thought me and Doc were better than that. What happened?
Oh, y'all are, but it wasn't me. I didn't go. Trust me.
I see. Well, that would have required Doc to open the wallet with his crowbar, which Doc doesn't always do. Doc is very savvy with his money. I can tell you that.
Before I forget, I did put this out on Twitter. I want to say thank you to everyone for helping us get to 500. And Bruce said and Ant, they're both running a little late. And Bruce has just said, hey, we're at 502 right now, which is great. Don't forget to tell a friend about us also. There we go, Go Caps. That's what you're supposed to say. Youngest P1 in the building.
Mm-hmm.
So getting to where we're going here with Chris, we have a new OC. And this happened late Friday. So everyone's had a chance to think things through, figure some things out. And then one Shady McCoy happened to open up that door and say some words about Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to get your opinion on this because, Chris, you have done what Lady A has done before, which is be out on the field while they're practicing or be in the area while they're practicing. Is it uncommon for coaches to get after players? I mean, because Shady seems to be in his feelings about how Eric Bieniemy coached him when he was at the tail end of his career in 2019.
I mean, that's just one part of what he had to say. I'm more worried about some of the other criticism that he made on Tuesday, which I don't think he made the first time about a year or so ago, which was, that Eric Bieniemy had no role basically in the passing game with the Kansas City Chiefs and really didn't like in post game film sessions and how of course all teams evaluate and point out mistakes and so on and so forth with their team when their team comes back in either on a Monday or a Tuesday or even a Wednesday. In some cases, they go through the film. Oh, you screwed up here. You did this well, what have you. He basically said that Eric Bieniemy had no role in the passing game part of that film review and study and review, with the limited exception to talk to some of the running backs, which was LaShawn McCoy or Shady McCoy. And remember, so that part concerned me more than Eric Bieniemy kind of being a hard ass. Coaches are hard asses. I mean, if you guys think, like out there in Commander's land, that Ron Rivera doesn't lose his you-know-what from time to time, of course he does. I mean, Ron is pretty mild-mannered. When you're really sloppy and when he feels that you're dogging it, Ron is going to bark and scream and curse and drop every F-bomb in the world. I mean, it happens. You got to be a man. You can't be a baby. There are no babies that are allowed in this sport, in my opinion. So if you can't take criticism, if you can't take a little bit of a verbal lashing, tongue lashing, listen, we all have to do it. We all don't like it. I mean, I fought with people for years and years and years on Twitter, and maybe I still do about it. I don't like it. Nobody likes it, but eventually you kind of grow up and you realize not to be so thin-skinned, not to be so sensitive. Maybe Shady McCoy didn't do that. I don't know. But again, I will say this. The part that he alleged on FS1 on Tuesday more worries me than him maybe getting into a kerfluffle or two with Kelsey or Patrick Mahomes, or I think he used dog shading,
dog walked, or dog cursed. He dog cursed
or dog cursed. Yeah, whatever he used as a term, whatever. I mean, again. Now we also have to point out that LaShawn McCoy, last played for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2019. So, again, maybe that's the way it was then, and he hasn't updated his files. Maybe he's talking to some people still in the building, and they're telling him, but maybe they're not paying attention. Maybe they're not right. So I guess my point is we don't know exactly what Eric Bieniemy is doing behind the scenes. That being said, I have a hard time, just a really hard time, imagining Andy Reid with his coaching pedigree, his desire to win, his ability to win, his success in building great programs in both Philadelphia and Kansas City, having Eric Bieniemy as his offensive coordinator, and Eric Bieniemy is not involved in the passing game whatsoever or in corrections to the passing. I just have a hard time buying Shady McCoy's perspective. And again, maybe 4 years ago it was like that. Maybe when Bieniemy was kind of transitioning. Maybe. But I just have a hard time in 2022 and into 2023 and 2 Super Bowl championships later that Eric Bieniemy had no role in the passing game for the Chiefs and no role in the correction or, I guess, improvement of the passing game of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Lady A, I'm going to give it to you here in a second. Do you think that him getting after Kelsey in 2019, because I did not have time to go back and check and see when Kelsey burst on the scenes, but he said he dog cursed Kelsey, and he's getting on the best player, which arguably is the best tight end in the league right now in 2019, is a direct reflection of being coached hard. I'm going to ask that question of you right here. And then the second part to this question is, do they let ex-players into the meeting rooms and Karen Days? I know they welcome them back to the facility and things like that, but do they let them into the meeting rooms where he can honestly say he has no part in that passing game? Which I think you really just answered a little while ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's team meetings, offensive unit meetings, and then running back, room. And he did say, hey, he would talk to the running backs. And remember, Bieniemy is a former running back, and he was the running back coach.
Yep.
With Kansas City before becoming the offensive coordinator when Nagy left and so on and so forth. So I don't know exactly the inner dynamics, but I just have a hard time thinking you could win 2 Super Bowls. Yes, you have Patrick Mahomes. That obviously helps. And yes, you have Andy Reid and you have Kelsey and you have a rebuilt offense. Just have a hard time believing that to be true. Maybe at one point, Eric Bieniemy didn't have a lot to say as he was kind of feeling out his way and the process. But again, that was 2019, right? Presumably, that's not still going on. So it's just very hard for me to believe. One thing I'll give you on Kelsey, he was drafted in 2013, the same year Jordan Reed was drafted. You know who the Washington then Redskins had number 1 on their tight end group? According to Sean McVay, who was then still the tight ends coach, but was eventually going to be the offensive coordinator for Jay Gruden.
Don't tell me Kelsey.
It was Kelsey over Jordan Reed. And they were going to take Kelsey and then he went a little bit earlier than expected to the Chiefs.
Right.
Oh, metaphor said Paulson.
What that would have done.
Go ahead, Lady A.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say to you, I thought just a moment ago, Chris, that you were going to quote Tom Hanks and say there's no crying in football. I really did, because I felt like that was the route you were going. But I have a question. So you have Shady isn't the only one that has said things about Eric. Now that Eric's with us, now that he's in his position, he's going to be calling the plays. What do you think he can do to just silence everyone at this point? I mean, given what he has, of course, we're going to have our lineup is going to look a little different by the time the season starts. Right. But what do you think he can do based off of what that we're going to have next season?
Well, I mean, listen, what's the best way to prove yourself in a different situation than where you're coming from, which is with Patrick Mahomes and with Andy Reid? It's to come out and be gangbusters on offense and to score 28 points a game and to light up the scoreboard and to become the talk of the NFL, but then to maintain it. Not 2 weeks, not 1 week, not 3 weeks. Remember, after 1 week last year, wrongly, Carson Wentz and the new built Washington Commanders offense was the talk of the NFL. That was against, what turned out to be a pretty decent Jaguars team, good team. But I thought it was very overrated then. It's not about one game. It's not about 2 games. It's about 5 games, 7 games, 8 games, 9 games. So if you're Eric Bieniemy and you can take an offense that is historically averaged under 20 points, or for the most part averaged under 20 points, and certainly did again last year, what was it, 18.1 or whatever it was, and you can improve that average scoring to say 25, 26 points a game and sustain that success, you are going to you're going to be sending a message to the rest of the world. Hey, look at what I can do. Look at what I'm doing to help Sam Howell. Look at how he's developing. Look at how he's growing. Look at his arm strength. Look at his mobility. Look at his processing. Look at his completion accuracy. Look at what we're doing with even better receivers than EB and Andy Reid had on the Kansas City Chiefs this year. And I think if the Washington Commanders can get that out of Eric Bieniemy, A, he might not be here more than a year. B, I think he would, if they could sustain that success, he would absolutely get a head coaching opportunity next offseason, which again would make him one and done here. But you know what? That's the price you got to pay to kind of get this opportunity, this very rare and unique opportunity to get a guy who is widely considered, to be the what's the right way to say it? The next best head coach, I guess. I don't know. The hottest name, if you will, among assistant coaches, that has been Eric Bieniemy for several years now. And for whatever reason, and I think we all have our suspicions and theories, he hasn't been able to get the head coaching job. But if you go and get out of Andy Reid's shadow, out of Patrick Mahomes' shadow, if you go to Washington, a beat down, for the most part, franchise over a 30-year period, and you turn a rookie quarterback, essentially Sam Howell, still a rookie, into maybe not a stud, but into a little bit of a juggernaut for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games, whatever it might be. And even if it continues far beyond that, then you are going to get a head coaching opportunity, period. Point blank and simple. You are going to get that opportunity. But that's what he's got to do. It can't be a 19-point per game offense, and then everybody's going to be singing the praises of Eric Bieniemy.
Hold on. Let's bring in our final member of First String Podcast, our other co-host, Antmo here. We got Chris Russell. We have the whole squad here. I just got to do one thing real fast, and I'll ask you guys to identify this later. Let's get this formation right. Boom. Now that we have everyone here, Chris gets the big box here.
Well, I take up the most space.
There we go. All right. So I'm gonna ask everyone in the chat to identify Team Android versus Team iPhone here, um, and there's a specific way you could tell. But Chris, um, there are two people on Team Android. There are two people on Team iPhone here. Uh, you guys in the chat, you figure that out. Chris, you said that Eric Bieniemy comes and does a good job with Sam Howell for, like, let's say 12 out of the, what is it,
17 games.
17 weeks, 12 out of the 17 games, right? So if he comes in and averages, let's say 27.5 points a game, right? Um, and our offense looks pretty good. It's moving pretty well, and no one's coming out saying that he's belittling people every day, and which is really called coaching hard. Our offense was ranked like in the middle of the pack in scoring. What does it have to be for everyone to say he's doing a great job? Does it have to be top 10? Does it have to be? I mean, where does it have to rank? Because we're terrible in scoring. We were like down by 16, average of 16 to 17 points a game. Where do we have to rank for everyone to say he's done a great job?
You want me to go first on this?
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, I mean, again, I think it has to be at least 24 points a game. When you look at the numbers across the board in the NFL, right? Scoring was down a little bit last year, but when you look at where the Commanders were, okay, just for instance, I'm trying to pull it up right now just so I can get the exact numbers, courtesy of NFL GSIS. So the league averaged as a whole 21.9 points per game. The Commanders were 18.9. So I gave them a little bit less than they actually deserve. So they were 3 points below the league average, and the league average was down in 2022 overall from 2021, where it was 23 points a game. And I think a recent high was like 24 and a half points a game, roughly. So, I mean, if you want to say, okay, somewhere the league averages, depending on the year with certain different little adjustments, say the league averages 22 points a game. Just use that as an average number, as a median number, right? If Eric Bieniemy and the Kansas and the Washington Commanders are at 25 points per game, so they're 3 points below the league average in 2022 at 18.9, which again, the league average itself was down, so they were even further down.
Right.
They're 25 points a game, and say the league average is around 22 points per game. If they're at least a field goal better per game than the league average, and therefore basically around a touchdown better per game than they were last year under Scott Turner, meaning 2022, then that is going to be considered, rightly or wrongly, a pretty damn good job. And I don't know if that's enough to absolutely say Eric Bieniemy gets a head coaching job. I believe it would be. But I think that would be enough to say, hey, Eric Bieniemy did what he was supposed to do. He took an offense that averaged sub 19 points a game, and now just under my scenario, they're averaging, say, 25 points a game or 25 and change. If you do that, and especially if they win, ultimately in the end, 9 or 10 games, I think Eric Bieniemy did his job and then some.
All right. Say it's busy. Ant, you want to get in there?
I mean, I kind of disagree with that. I think that's expected, but I do believe that we've seen far lesser coaches get rewarded far greater for doing far less. So I think it's true at the end of the day, but that team it's not a secret that they have talent. They're sorely lacking at offensive linemen. Quarterback was a toss up on who was going to do what and how effective they were going to be. But those receivers and those running backs and the tight ends were hot or cold. We know the talent's there. He should come in and make that offense battle for top 12 position. That would be able to get him some serious consideration to be a head coach. But he's already got the mind. And I don't know if y'all have already covered this. I'm sure you have. But my thing is, how is his personality going to mesh with those guys, because we talked about Shady McCoy earlier.
Oh, no. I didn't get to talk about it, but
no, he ain't get it yet. He ain't get it yet.
Okay. Well, my fault. Well, Ixnay on that comment, but what we have heard is that he's hard to work with in an essence. Now, what I heard Pick say that comes off as the bias, it's the recency bias of he's our offensive coordinator. You said that's called coaching hard. No, sometimes people are just jerks, and so. And Lady A is one to point that out a lot. So I guess I'm just wondering, how do you see that also playing a factor in him moving forward to be able to get that consideration if he doesn't get along well with those players in that locker room?
Yeah.
That is okay. So Ant, your question was how is it going to play out if he doesn't get along with the players?
Yeah, the personality traits that we've heard that could possibly be an issue or were an issue in Kansas City. They said, about people not really caring for him like that. How does that play a factor also in him being able to get the job, pending that other things do go well with the offense under his watch?
Oh, can I answer this? First off, winning cures everything. If you win, I don't care if you curse me out. At the end of the day, if you curse me out Tuesday through Saturday, but on Sunday it ends in a W, I don't care. Because we're winning. And winning brings these players more checks. I mean, am I wrong, Chris?
No, absolutely not. Winning, and they say winning cures all. Now, I think you can still, depending on how you talk to people, I think you can still win and have problems. But, again, I think there's guys, and maybe I'm wrong, a very, very, very fine line. Like, if you can't handle a coach cursing you out, then you probably don't belong in the NFL. Because, again, Ron Rivera has pretty much a sterling reputation with players and around the league, and he curses all the time. All the time. And anyone that's around the team knows it. Does Eric Bieniemy, like they always tell us in radio, right? And in podcasting, it's true too. Don't personally attack people. There's a difference between saying, Ron Rivera isn't a great head coach and Ron Rivera is a bleepity loser. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So if Eric Bieniemy is saying, hey, Antonio Gibson, you absolutely suck. You are worthless. You're a jerk. You're a know nothing. You're going nowhere. That to me is crossing the line. But if he said, Antonio, I need more from you. I need you to hit the ball harder. What the bleep are you doing? That's talking maybe not nice, but that's coaching. If Antonio Gibson or any other player can't accept that, then that's a problem on their end.
Yeah.
But again, just like with anything, there's levels, right? And do you cross the line? And again, if his criticism or if the way he is talking to players behind the scenes or publicly is crossing the lines, I can't imagine that Andy Reid would allow that and would then stump for Eric Bieniemy to get a head coaching position or an elevated position, which is exactly what this is. I can't imagine that would be the case.
Get in there.
Let me jump in here because I listened to the comments about what Shady McCoy had to say, and I was really disappointed in him because it seemed personal for him instead of him advising on what he's seen and what's going on. I've seen people come out and comment about the way Eric Bieniemy is attention detail, who has come at them specifically, told them, hey, you need to do XYZ, and love the guy. So in some ways, it seems like it's personal from Shady McCoy. It ain't the first time we heard him say something personal about somebody, that somebody has done something to him in the past, and he'll come out, well, see, I said this a long time ago. So I'm going to leave that at that. The fact that he was an offensive coordinator for Andy Reid for 5 years. Granted, like you said, we'll give him the first year because he was transitioned from running backs coach to offensive coordinator. I'll give him that. But 5 years, they make it sound like the dude has never called a play in his life. If you listen to any of these analysts, if you listen to any of these things been written, that's what they're saying. He got to get up under any reason he can call plays. The dude calls plays and assigns plays. Why? What is this bias with him not being able to get a head coaching job when the same two people ahead of him left and got an immediate head coaching job? And matter of fact, one of them is back because he's been fired from that job, is back in Kansas City.
Could that speak to the personality issues?
Huh?
Could that speak to the personality issues?
Could
Well,
be.
see, that doesn't speak to personality issues. Because the thing is this. If you don't want to be coached by somebody who's attention to detail, you're in the wrong sport. The reason why Nick Saban didn't make it in the NFL is because Nick Saban was a you do it my way and no way only. Because
that works in college. That works in college.
That
right.
doesn't translate into the NFL. You see what I'm saying? Now, if he's able to come in and say, okay, look, offense, I need X, Y, Z. We need to do X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Don't take that personal. He said, look, I keep telling you to do it this way. You keep doing it this way. That's not personal. That's him trying to get you on the same sheet of paper as long as everybody else. Just like you say, you've heard people come out and say X, Y, Z about him. I've also heard people say, I love Eric Bieniemy. Love him.
Mm-hmm.
Wish you would never have left, wish you stayed.
Yeah. His Charles, 1,900 yards, like 20 yards away from 2,000, came out and said he had to disagree with Shady McCoy because Eric Bieniemy got everything that he could get out of him by coaching him hard. So players are starting to come out and be with Eric.
Yeah.
So Chris,
who was that toothpick that said that?
Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles.
Okay.
Jamal Charles.
Yeah. Well, again, I'll just add this because I think so much is going to be made out of this, and we've been talking about this for a year plus. Again, so much is going to be made out of this. Listen, there is a line that you cannot cross in coaching, in just treating human beings like human beings, white,
right,
black, young, old, veteran, good, whatever. There's just a line. And I find it hard to believe if Eric Bieniemy was degrading, was crossing a line maybe he did once. I guess it happens, right? But crossing a line repetitively and regularly, that Andy Reid would be out there and stumping again for him to get a better opportunity and to get the opportunity that Andy Reid felt he deserved. And, I'm sorry that I just like, I'm sure LaShawn McCoy's a good guy. I don't know him personally, but I mean, again, he can have a very, 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 very different experience with Eric Bieniemy than 95 other players. He can,
True. That's true.
Here's my question for you before we move on to something else coming up here. You've been around NFL teams, right? You've said that Ron Rivera curses and everything like that, but I've heard Doc say this, and I'm not sure if I've heard B. Mitch say. I think, matter of fact, I did hear B. Mitch say this, that the head coaches don't have to be the bad guys. The head coaches can be the good guys, and you have your coordinators, your position coaches, and things like that be the bad guys. Have you known that to be the dynamic around NFL locker rooms?
Sure. I mean, and again, cursing is just something that's universally.
We're adults. Yeah,
I mean,
it happens.
If you go into any NFL locker room, any NFL practice, any NFL meeting room, I mean, you see it on Hard Knocks all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, why people would be sensitive to that, I don't know. Again, there's a difference between cursing and criticizing as opposed to crossing some line. And where that line is, maybe it's an imaginary line in the sand. I don't know. Maybe it's a blurred line. But again, there's a difference, right? I would say the head coach, listen, Ron Rivera, again, I don't know if he's good cop and he lets Jack Del Rio and Scott Turner in the past be the bad guy. I mean, I know Pete Hainer, the retired tight ends coach, used to bark and scream all the time. I know Juan Castillo is a very fiery coach. John Matsko, the offensive line coach, at least for now, doesn't say much. Randy Jordan is very positive. So, I mean, assistant coaches take on their different personalities, their different levels. But when Ron has to bark, when Ron has to curse, when Ron has to ride his team, when Ron has to get into somebody's ass, Ron does it. There's no doubt, at least from what I can see over 3+ years now, with that being the issue. And again, I think if Eric Bieniemy sees somebody not giving effort or short arming a pass over the middle, say, maybe because they don't want to get hit or their fear that they're going to get popped or whatever, he's going to ride that guy, period. If he sees you not giving 100% effort, he's going to get after you, period.
All right.
So really quickly.
Yeah.
In other places of business, it would not have been tolerated.
I'm sorry, that's HR. That's
okay.
HR is up top.
However, this is football.
Yes.
And in life, because I think it was you picked that said we're all adults. In life, you do have to know the difference between someone cursing and someone cursing at you. There's a big difference between the two. With that said, in today's society, if someone is cursing, but they are talking to you or they're criticizing you, a lot of people just plain and simple, they get offended. That's our society now. Unfortunately, that's the direction that we're going in. When you have a tough environment like football, where people are yelling, your adrenaline is high. Some people's emotions are just out of check. You have a whole bunch of people that are on that field that really need to get it together. But when you have all of this going on, you have people that get in their feelings. And I think that I personally feel like that's what happened in this situation.
And you're right.
Not used to.
Just listen. If you listen to anyone at Eric Service that's been lit, I mean, I can say the leak from the University of Georgia, especially the one before the Tennessee game. The dude is outside of the stadium recording where Kirby Smart is yelling at the players. And he's not talking about, come on, guys. No. He's letting letters go left and right. Because it's football.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take that personal. If someone's trying to get the best out of you, you got to figure out to understand what they want and go to it. Now, like Chris said, if he coming to you and saying, you a dog, yada, yada, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Context and how it's coming out.
Let's move on to
it seems like Shady has hurt feelings about something. I don't know, but that's what it seems like. When you listen to it, that's what it seems like.
All right. So let's look at it this way.
Thank you, Hawk.
Yeah, hats off to Lady A for calling it out.
Yeah.
All right. So we know that Kansas City had a very talented roster, best quarterback possible in football right now. And the one thing that I always said that Andy Reid has, his scheme is speed. All right. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, let's turn our attentions to how Eric Bieniemy can shape this roster. And the way I want to start is we lost our wide receivers coach today. Who could he possibly be bringing in to help this young, talented wide receiver core to replace him? Or has he already started to talk, because he does have that title of assistant head coach? Has he already started to fill out his half of the coaching staff?
Well, I can jump in here. I don't know who he's bringing in, but it's very clear that they've been expecting Drew Terrell again to leave for Arizona here for at least a couple of days. But I would also say this, that what was interesting to me was the guy that I initially thought, if they're going to stay in-house, maybe they'll go here. And that was Jim Hostler, who came with Ron from Carolina. Now, I think he was only with Ron for a year or so in Carolina, but he had been around the NFL, had been with the San Francisco 49ers, and when Alex Smith was the quarterback there. So he was, held in, I don't want to say a high regard, but he was a respected coach. Well, they moved him out of the wide receiver coach position for Terrell 2 years ago when they reshuffled things and gave Terrell a promotion. And Terrell, by all accounts, kind of hit it out of the park. And now he's leaving. But Hostler, they're moving on from, according to the Washington Times, and Matt Paris. So clearly, you would think they're going outside the building to bring in a new wide receivers coach. Who that person is, don't know. And maybe those are the only two departures. We'll have to see. It didn't sound like to me when I talked to somebody that they were going to make major staff changes, at least right now. Maybe that will change. Maybe that will be more. I don't know if I don't know what Bieniemy's relationship with Zampese is. I don't know if he knows of a good young quarterbacks coach that either he was with in Kansas City or he just knows around the league. I don't know. And he hasn't even spoken yet. He's going to talk on Thursday at 11 o'clock. Maybe we'll find out some of the answers to that question. But the bottom line is I'm not expecting massive staff turnover, at least right now. And that, I think, is, in a way, a good thing because you want to have as much good continuity as you possibly can.
And that was a big thing going back to last year. I mean, people think it's no big deal to, it was just the offensive line coach or, defensive line coach. I disagree. I think the more you can have all the coaches on the same page, putting out a game plan for all three phases, the more successful your team has the opportunity to be. You hadn't even had a preseason game at that point. So stuff like that is just super important, So hopefully they figure that stuff out soon enough. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise you start looking like you're in the same condition as last year. And with the team impending sale, I know it's a lot of people that are just ready to get off that roller coaster.
Right.
Lady A with the side.
There is one out there. Whether or not he's ready to leave college now, but he's out there.
True.
Who?
Brian Hartline.
Oh, the wide receivers coach from Ohio State.
He has proven that he's able to shape wide receivers.
He's wow. That is, I mean,
yeah.
He's proven.
Brian Hartline has put wide receivers into the league year after year after year after year, and they perform in the league. Yep. So that's a good dig right there. Said I appreciate that one right there. Let's switch up to the NBA real fast, okay? We'll switch up to the NBA. Chris, did you happen to watch any of the NBA All-Star Weekend?
I watched some of it. While I was gone, like I said, I had to deal with some family things. I saw Mclung, who somehow got out of Georgetown a couple of times, winning the slam dunk contest at 6'1.5", 6'2".
6'2".
The NBA All-Star game, guys, not for me. But obviously, if you like a lot of offense and very little defense, that's okay. I mean, that's not my style, but I'm sure it did a pretty good number in terms of television ratings.
First off, let's start off with Jason Tatum dropping 55. 55 in an All-Star game, and the score was ridiculous. Everybody should have took the over. Absolutely no defense being played. Have you guys seen the picture of LeBron literally just smiling for the camera while the other guy goes and dunks? It's horrible. It's not competitive. It is, and you actually heard Luka say, he didn't even reach for a ball where a guy was dribbling really wide away from his body, and he goes, "I don't want anyone to get hurt." It's like what it does, and they changed the format, which is really my question. This thing does need to be changed. Skills competition, 3-point competition, and the dunk contest. Matt McClung absolutely saved the dunk contest this week. Skills competition, Lady A did absolutely get right, but does that thing need to change?
Too. Don't put some respect on me.
Put some respect on her.
Dunk right too. Okay.
I chose Matt McClung.
I did too. I chose before you.
So 2 out of 3, Matt McClung. And I do have to apologize. I did say on Saturday he went to Maryland, which was absolutely Georgetown. That he went to. Paulie kept catching that, and he kept texting me, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you be wanting the credit even if it ain't real.
Tell Paulie to zipit.org. How about that, huh?
Zipit.org. He's probably already watching, so he's gonna get at you real fast.
But can I say this, Pick?
Go for it.
I'm absolutely just annoyed and over this whole any type of All-Star weekend.
Aww.
I mean, essentially, all they're gonna do, even in the NBA, they're gonna make it into a skills challenge as well. The NBA game is gonna be a skills challenge in itself. Like we went from, I was just watching something on Instagram like a couple days ago, and it was Sean Springs lighting up a freaking punter. Just a beautiful hit.
That was Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor, my fault. I'm sorry. Sean Taylor, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sean Taylor lighting up a freaking punter, and I'm trying to think who's the receiver from the Colts. Dang it! But he was like grateful pretty much that Sean laid off of him, and we went from that to flag football games, guys. Like it's entertaining to a certain degree, but it's like you're kind of giving us poop and telling us it's ice cream after so long.
Did the NHL get it right by switching up theirs, because the NHL has gone away from like a full squad to like, what is it, like 3-on-3 or 4-on-4 in a tournament style deal?
Well, they do that. They do that in the, I think, the third period.
Yeah.
When you had the two division winners that face off in the first and second period against each other. I think they do that in the third period, if I remembered from a couple of weeks ago in Sunrise, Florida. I'm a huge NHL fan. I don't really love the NHL All-Star Game under any iteration or whatever that word is. One thing I was thinking of that they should do, though, for a sport that needs a lot more help than the NBA and or the NFL does in terms of ratings and whatnot, is they should put the NHL All-Star Game and skills competition in a stadium series type venue like the Capitals and the Hurricanes last weekend, because that was awesome. I don't know if you'd get that passion that emanated through the television Saturday night, but I think it would be maybe something optically that people would like and check out. Maybe change some things up. Maybe look into something like that. I think the NFL made an interesting decision, right? I hated the idea at first going to a flag football game and all this, like pin the tail on the, on the whatever they were doing at the dodgeball and catching all this different things that they were doing. I didn't like all of that, but I will say the game itself, it was much more competitive and juiced up than I thought it was. And for that reason, I'm willing to give it a second shot. The NBA All-Star Game kind of feels very stale at this point, to be honest with you, and I just don't know what other way around it.
All right. If you have to remove one of the three, which would you remove? The NBA skills competition, the 3-point competition, or the dunk contest? And the reason I'm saying the dunk contest is because the premier dunkers are not entering the dunk contest. Matt Mclung did his thing. He absolutely saved the dunk contest for me. But I'm asking you guys and you in the chat, if you have to lose one of those events, which one are you losing? Let's start with Lady A.
You would start with me because
yes, ma'am, I would.
Ladies first.
Okay, so the skills competition is probably my least favorite.
Skills competition for you,
because people who are in there don't always have the best skills when you look at the rest of the season. Right. Just like you said with the dunk contest, it's kind of the same thing.
Say it.
You're right. It's a toss up between the skills and the dunk contest, because you don't have a bunch of people participating in the dunk contest. You don't have a bunch of people participating in the skills contest. So it's a flip. It's a coin flip between the two. We always have a bunch of people in the 3-point contest. They get eliminated quickly because of the way it's set up. But if it me, probably the dunk contest.
All right, Ant.
Come on, guys. It's got to be the dunk contest. There's only so many dunks you could actually do. Right. Even with the guys that are, super high flying, it'll add a more flair to it just because Ja doing a 360 is going to look better than whoever those other three guys were. But in the skills competition, it's always still an element because you don't know. Some of these guards are just good shooters. They ain't necessarily good skills guys. And some of these big men are great at skills. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's definitely something there. Kind of like when we were looking at when it was the rookies versus Jazz versus Team Jazz. Like, man, those rookies, man, they gave a lot to it because it meant a lot to them too. You know what I'm saying? So I think stuff like that matters more. You know, I still want people who want to give that competitive edge. So I would get rid of the dunk contest.
Chris.
Forever I thought, well, the dunk contest is kind of boring. We've seen it all, done it all. No big names, no, juicy storylines, if you will. But then every time I'm ready to give up on it, we get, like what happened on Saturday night with, again, a 6'2" white dude, Mclung. And you're like, how did he pull off some of that? So for that reason, I would say keep the dunk contest. I would get rid of the 3-point shooting contest, right? Overall, because we see that in every game anyway. So I don't need to see any more 3-point shots. I don't need to see, I mean, I know it's different and a different format, but I don't need to see that element of it. And I like kind of the skills competition as part of all these all-star games because it does show off a different part of their skill set if it's done right. So I would keep those and get rid of the 3-point contest because, again, we see that in pretty much every NBA and college basketball game anyway.
All right, nice. So everyone wants to get rid of everything. So we did have skills competition, dunk contest, 3-point contest. That's the whole NBA Saturday night, right? So we just getting rid of it all.
The interesting thing about that, though, is when guys like Steph Curry barely win, you know what I'm saying? A guy like Dame Dollar says, if I don't win this year, I'm done.
He did. He said that too.
Adds a different element to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you would think guys like that wouldn't miss, but they do. And it took the last shot on the last rack for him to actually beat the guy in front of him. So stuff like that is actually super interesting, man.
Metaphor says, what if the 3-point contest was a moving basket?
I actually like that idea, Metaphor. So if you give me that, maybe I'm staying.
That would be cool. I ain't gonna lie.
What if it was
Metaphor need to go to Chuck E. Cheese? What is he talking about?
Hey, yeah, they do have that at Chuck E. Cheese. When a basket comes forward, it moves backwards too. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we discussed Shady McCoy. As far as the NBA All-Star Game itself, the NBA season really doesn't even get started until after the All-Star Game. With that being said, let's do one thing real fast. Let's take a bit of a commercial break, and then we're going to come right back with some odds for you guys, some updated odds. And Chris, you don't have to, but you can if you like. Help us figure out who we like the most here. So let's have a word from our sponsors real fast. Now we'd like to take the time and send a shout out to our sponsors, Bet Rivers. Make sure you download that Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. Like I said, you must be 21 years or older to play. And if you play like me, you know I love to play straight bets. NBA, NFL, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get you with the straight bets. And what's up, man?
Now, like this guy just said, he wants to be straight leg Sam, but I'm better known as Parlay Pete. So I go 2, 3, or 4 leg parlays as long as it ain't the stanky leg. Sid, what you got?
Okay, shout out Bet Rivers because how we do it. I got future bets. Future bets with them mean next year. Who you got? Georgia going for a 3-peat. Want to put your money down on Georgia now? Get those good odds now. Want to Heisman? Hey, put your money down on Carson Beck. You never know. It could be next Heisman. Same thing with NFL. You get another team, put on that team. NBA, same thing. Future bets is what I do. I like to put my money out there early, let it sit, let it marinate, because you never know what's going to come back in the end. Lady A, what you got?
Well, I like the over-under. I also like those player props. So whoever your favorite QB is, that running back, bet on them.
Bet on them. And that's what we got. Holler at our guys at Bet Rivers. get him back in here. There
I
we
was
go.
gonna say, Pick, you were
Hey,
talking, but you weren't.
She don't like being in the middle box. She not fooling about it.
She
Right.
loves being
You
in the
see, she
middle
did
box.
her hair like
know.
this. She did her hair like.
I should do it.
Hey, she loves being in the middle box. All right. So, like we said, the NBA really doesn't get going until after All-Star weekend, right? After the All-Star weekend. So they have about 20 or so games left. So what I'm gonna do here is let me switch up this again. I'm gonna bring up a graphic with the latest odds on it for making it to the Western and Eastern Conference Finals. Let's see who we all think is going to make it. Okay, I just put the top 8 on here. I didn't go through every Eastern and Western Conference team. All right, and all lines are brought to you by Bet Rivers. So you guys make sure you download the Bet Rivers app and go to www.betrivers.com. You know you got to be 21 years or older to play. So let's start off with the Eastern Conference Final here. Here are the current odds to win the East and represent the East. You got the Boston Celtics at plus 115. Milwaukee Bucks at plus 175. The Philadelphia 76ers at plus 450. The Cleveland Cavaliers are plus 1,000. Miami plus 1,600. Atlanta Hawks, who just fired their head coach, is plus 5,000. The Brooklyn Nets, who traded away everybody and the horse that they rode in on, is plus 5,000. And the New York Knicks are plus 8,000. Those are the top 8 odds right there. So I'm going to start off with ladies first, as always. Who do you like out of that? I'll put the graphics back up here in a second. Who do you like to come out of the East, Lady A?
So I'm gonna go with the Bucks, but I feel so bad for the Knicks. I feel so bad for them, but I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I don't know. I mean, to me, I feel like it's too early to say, but something's telling me to go with the Bucks.
All right.
You know, when it's pulling at me, I'm usually right. So I'm just letting you guys know.
Yeah, just like your ties you always call for. Just like your ties you always call for. Pete. I'm sorry. Not Pete, but say it. Who do you like? Say it. Who do you like?
You know what? I think the Sixers gonna make a late run, man, and they're gonna make this late run and take the top spot. I put my money on the Hawks early last year to win the East. I don't throw that money out the window.
Yeah, you did. You just open that window up, just let it fly.
Just let it fly. Just sit on it for a year.
Who do you like to represent the East?
Well, overall, I probably like the Bucks, but from a value standpoint and taking a shot and trying to win me some money, I love plus 1,000 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think it was plus 1,000.
Plus 1,000 on the Cleveland Cavaliers, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because they have size, athleticism, front court ability. Donovan Mitchell, obviously. To me, maybe this is a little too early for them, but I love the value that it represents at plus 1,000. And do things ever work out the way we all expect them to, right?
Never.
I mean, like most people are like, oh, it'll be the Celtics and the Bucks. Okay, well, it could be that. But usually we get an upset that people don't always see coming. And I think if there's a team that could potentially put it all together, and again, maybe it's just a touch too early for them, I think it's the Cavaliers.
All right. And
please put some respect on Jason Tatum's name. I mean, I don't care about upset. I don't care about none of that. If it's a team to be upset, it's definitely going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, Harden, who is he at this point? I don't see that gigantic 7-foot whatever guy being able to carry that whole load by himself over Jason and that array of talent that they have over there. Not to mention everything they went through with their coach. And the second string stepped in and they haven't missed a beat. There's no way that the Celtics get taken down by somebody that hasn't already been through the fire, been to the finals, lost. I think they learned something from that to get back there at least.
So that would be the Heat. That would be a team. If there's a team that's been there and lost, the Heat did come out of the East in the bubble And don't forget, Jimmy Buckets has that playoff experience and all that other good stuff. He has some other good players with him, Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo. I had to think about saying his name, man.
was
Bam
so
Adebayo. So that's a team that you should look at if you're going with something like that. And the Heat are plus 1,600. So hey,
For a reason.
Because they disappeared down the stretch.
Because they're a cast of tryhards in number 2. Jimmy Butler is a number 2. I keep telling y'all that he is not a number 1 player. He's a number 2. And he can play to that caliber for so long. That's why he was leaned over like your grandma on that thing. Woo, child, I'm tired.
Oh,
after he lost that game in the finals, the famous meme.
Oh, that's so nice. He
Listen,
was
Surely is tired.
He was
I'm
tired.
starting not to like this, but you and I, we agree. I think it's Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum just had a spectacular All-Star weekend. He dropped 55. And
you just stop talking about 55.
That don't mean nothing.
They was not playing no defense, man.
I know they played no defense, and I'm upset.
I would have scored 55.
I don't know.
I would have scored. They weren't playing defense.
I gotta see what your shot look like.
They were taking pride on your
your shot look like first.
You was finger rolling at the rim.
No, put
they
some
were doing kiss the rim. Everybody was just looking at
That wasn't good for yourself.
Olay. You can. No,
I thought you was up
let
there
that
with me.
55 go. I'm sorry, Pink. I'm sorry.
Say it.
No.
He just said Lady A was going to drop 55. I think she would have dropped 65.
Oh, you are such a.
She'd have dropped
Lord.
65. Hey, but I too am going with it. I'm going with Jason Tatum, not because of the 55, but because of the killer instinct that he has, and that's why I really want to go with Jason Tatum, and the Chicago. I'm sorry. And the Boston Celtics. All right, let's go out west. I'm going to put these odds up real fast. Here we go. These are the Western Conference odds. Again, it is only the top 8 up here. All right, if you want to see the rest of the league, then, head over to Bet Rivers. We got the Phoenix Suns at plus 200, the Denver Nuggets at plus 275, the Los Angeles Clippers at plus 450, the Memphis Grizzlies at plus 700, the Golden State Warriors at plus 700, Dallas Mavericks at plus 800, the Los Angeles Lakers at plus 2,500, and followed by the Pelicans with the same number, plus 205,000. Plus 2,500. Wow. All right, Lady A, we're turning to you again and asking you to lead us in the right direction with some money in our pockets.
So, first of all, you guys notice these numbers are a little different.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a little closer. Not a little, a lot. Okay. This is crazy. The difference between the two sides. But I'm not saying this because I'm a fan. I'm not saying this because I'm a fan. I'm just letting you know. The Warriors.
Plus 700 with the Golden State Warriors. Okay. All right.
Let's look over the past however many years. Look over that.
Hey, I'm just going to tell you I'm disappointed in that graphics because something went terribly wrong. I'll tell you guys later. Say it. Who you got?
Are the numbers correct?
The numbers are terribly correct. It's something minute that's bothering me in that graphic.
Okay.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Who you like, say it.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
You're going with the Golden State Warriors again.
I'm going with them. Phoenix, who has the best odds, are 2-3 in their last 5, which means they're not gelling. So they got about 20 games to get ready for the playoffs, and they're not gelling right now.
Well, what's the name back yet? Is KD back yet?
I think KD's not back yet.
Isn't Denver the number 1 seed right now in the West?
Denver is, yes.
Yep.
Because they say Jokic might gonna get. So sorry, MVP. They talking about Jokic is in run for MVP.
3 straight years. 3 straight years. All right, Pete. Who do you? Oh God, dog! I did it again. Chris, who do you got?
Well, to win, the team that I think will win the conference, because I don't have the faith in Durant to stay healthy, to get healthy, stay healthy, what have you, last the playoff grind. I'm probably going to go with the Denver Nuggets. But from I guess, gambling perspective, and again, looking for a team with a little bit of value. I mean, how do you resist the plus 700 on the Golden State Warriors, right? I mean, I know they haven't been able to stay healthy, but we all know they have the championship pedigree, right? And if they can find a way to get Steph, Clay, and Draymond and others all on the same page as they did last summer or last spring into last summer, then, it's not as good of value, if you will, as we had in the East, as we just kind of talked about. But again, I think Denver probably is where I would lean right now, even though they've been a disappointment in the playoffs in the couple of last years. Some of that was injury related. Denver is where I would lean right now, but Golden State probably the best value in return.
All right. Thank you for that. Hold on, Ant. We'll get yours, we'll get mine, and then we'll say goodbye to Chris. All right, so go ahead, Ant.
Yeah, I'm in line with what said. You got to beat the man, but I'm still also looking at Dallas. I think him and Kyrie will be able to figure that out at some point, and it'll get really interesting in the playoffs. Add Kyrie to what the Mavericks were able to do last year, which was mainly led by Luka. And then the Golden State Warriors are the Golden State Warriors. I'm kind of struggling. I would lean Golden State mainly because they're champions. They got 4 of them things, so they know how to get it done. And until Luka does it, until Kyrie does it, I gotta roll with the champs.
All right, so here we go again with these odds right here. Okay, so what I'm going to say is going to shock y'all. I like the Memphis Grizzlies. The reason is the defense. We all say defense wins championships and everything like that. The only team on the West on that side of the West that plays defense is Denver. They took a lot of steps last year, and this year, let's see if Ja stays healthy. I think that's the team that comes out of the West with the style of defense that they play. So I can't pass that up. Same value as Golden State. The Joker is the Joker. He's a walking triple-double, but I just like the Memphis Grizzlies right now because of their defense right now, and defense is going to shut some people that can score down. Chris, I have to say thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being available to us like this. If y'all don't know, Chris is kind of a big deal. He has the cup to prove it. I saw it firsthand when I came up to the radio station, and I really do appreciate it. So tell us your podcast that you just got finished doing. How'd it go, and what are you talking about, and where can we find it?
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. I mean, I wish I had more time to expand like you guys have. So they, unfortunately, at the Locked On Podcast Network, they keep us to like 25 minutes a show. But Locked On Commanders, all about the Commanders and a sprinkle of the NFL. David Harrison is my co-host. He does a good job covering the Commanders for SI and Commander Country.
We had Davis. Davis has been on.
Yeah, absolutely.
David.
So, we do, basically a 5-day a week, half an hour max type, just mostly again about the Commanders, and a sprinkle of the NFL, but not like the NBA, like you guys are able to do, which is cool. And then of course you can listen Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern time live on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app, anywhere from any phone, any browser, what have you, worldwide, for the radio show with Pete Medhurst, who again, I know he's been on here, before with you guys, voice of Navy and does some Nats work, and he works 17,000 jobs, and I have no idea how he has any sanity left. But we do a little radio show from 9 to noon. So I appreciate you guys having me, and sorry I have to kind of skedaddle along, but
nope.
Life is very complicated at times.
Yeah, no worries. We appreciate your time, and thank you again, Chris, and we will have you back. Back on. We love having you, so we really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys give Chris a follow at RussellMania621 and check him out on the Odyssey app, wherever you guys are, and Locked On Commanders podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Right. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.
Alrighty. Again, that was Chris Russell. All right, so yeah, we asked you guys to identify team iPhone versus team Android, and I have a confession to make. I was team. Nope. I'll wait for you guys to decide it before I tell you guys.
No, you can just say that you were.
Nope. Because that would give it away.
No, you can say that.
No, you cannot say.
Okay, fine.
You can't. You can't say. Okay. That would be like.
I have a way with words. I know how to say it.
You have a way with words?
Yes.
Use the words.
Okay, use your words. Use your words.
Pick was team both in 1 week.
I was.
That's all I wanted to say.
There we go. That's absolutely.
That's it. You got that right.
You got that right.
You got that right.
Okay. Hey, listen. Who is really interested in hearing EB speak on Thursday? I mean, I think he's going to lay some things out that's going to be crazy.
You say who's interested? That's me.
I am. Okay.
I'm curious. I'm not gonna say a lie. I'm curious.
Metaphor. How you figure?
Hey, hold on. Wait.
How you figure that? No, there's metaphor. I want to know why you think that.
Everybody else.
That is
everybody else answer it. Look.
Metaphor,
you
please.
Said pick and Lady 18 iPhone.
Please, I want to know why metaphor say that because that is hilarious.
That is. And Lady A iPhone. Say iPhone. Okay.
And we look like
iPhone. Sad. This is sad because Droopy has two of our phone numbers and he doesn't know. Right. Metaphor has two of our phone numbers and he got it wrong.
Your emojis in your title. Yeah,
but no, because I mean, if you have
Lady A has that too, though. She has emojis in her title as well.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I just didn't put none in there. I didn't put that in there. So.
You don't have to be on your phone on here. So
no, we're on laptops. We're on laptops.
And you can just admit the cool people have iPhones.
The cool people do have iPhones.
The cool people have iPhones, man.
Wait.
You got that right.
He said, "Oh yeah, the iPhone." Really? But I just said he was 2 in 1 week, so you have to guess what he is right now. You don't know.
Yeah, he switched up. He said triple. He said triple, man. But he came back. He came back to the right side.
Oh, wait, what is that?
Hey, here's the clue.
Throwing up signs?
Here's the clue right here. Team Android has on hats. Team iPhone, we got on shirts.
Look, why say give a blank smile?
It says like,
Aunt, we do not need
to
see. What was that, Aunt?
Man, I was just straight on my shirt up.
Who?
He did, but then he went right back.
I turned that bad boy
right back. He took it right back.
Like the same day he got it, he was like, "I'm gonna go back."
That joker went right back.
He didn't do nothing but waste everybody in that store's time.
Pick, touch my finger.
What you was right? See, look, that's real special. No, that was real special.
There we go.
And he's on your team.
Listen,
yeah,
cool kids.
I gotta accept him. He's my brother.
There we go.
Cool kids. You. Yeah, cool remember Night at the Roxbury? You.
Hey, listen. All right. So, hey, we was gonna do something today. We was gonna do the NFL tagging period is upon us, right? Mm-hmm. But last I checked, no one got tagged.
Which means that you weren't correct, sir.
Which means that I was not correct. I was not correct. Okay, I was absolutely not correct. I thought people would get tagged, but I think there's a deadline, and that's when people will really get tagged. So now they can start talking to people. All right, so we're going to bring up a couple of people here, and I want you guys to say tag, sign, which means you can tag them, but you sign them before July 15th. I think July 15th is the deadline for signing, or they go that year on the tag that you assign them, or sign and trade. All right. They have until March 7th. Yep. They have until March 7th. And
Can I
Metaphor
say
said
cut?
that's his birthday. All right.
Can I say cut?
Can you say cut?
'Cause you
That
said
did
you
happen to
weren't saying
Josh
the
Norman.
name.
That did happen to Josh Norman. Yeah, they
Who
was
was
like,
he
oh, you
playing
know
for
what?
again?
He was playing with Carolina, and he was complaining about the tag, so they
They cut.
promptly said bye bye.
Hopefully
turned
he's
him loose.
done.
Oh, did it?
That was way back when. That was when Ron
Who
was
did
in
you say?
Carolina. Josh Norman.
Oh, never mind. I'm
I'm
talking
talking
about
about that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Josh
no,
Norman.
I was thinking about what's
They
his
said,
name?
is this breaking news?
No. I thought I'm
Like,
he was saying to know, but I was thinking about the wide receiver who was catching all the ball. I don't know why.
What? Oh, say it. You got to pay attention.
That's what I was thinking about.
It's June 15th. Is it June? I think it's July 15th. I
I'm
think it's
looking
my
at y'all
son's
people
birthday.
right now.
That's even worse.
they
It's
have
my
a
son's
certain-
birthday.
they have-
It's
they have a
July
certain-
15th.
February, and you thought that it was going down now.
All right. Okay.
Let
So
me pull up the Cowboys when I'm thinking about it.
somebody bring up their first player. Who's the first player we're talking about here? And who you got?
Who was the first player I said this morning? Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. All right. Are we tagging Lamar Jackson? Are we signing Lamar Jackson? Or are we signing and trading Lamar Jackson? Lady A, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what they're supposed to do and what they probably gonna do.
Uh-oh.
So what they're supposed to do is sign that man. What they probably gonna do is tag him. I'm done.
He played on the franchise tag last year. That franchise tag is going to double this year.
We've done that. We did it to Kirk Cousins.
Lamar Jackson ain't been tagged yet.
He didn't play on no tag last year.
He did not get tagged.
He played on a 5th-year option. You're right. 5th year. That
Oh,
was
okay.
5th-year
I'm
option.
about to say
He played on his 5th-year option. So this will be the first year for the tag for him.
Even if he did get tagged, teams will do that. They'll tag someone consecutively. That happens. We did it.
You can only
I don't know why for Kirk Cousins.
3 times. 3 times.
You could actually do it 3, yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And after that, he's an unrestricted free agent after the third one.
Right. Or it could be 2. Wait, no, I think it's 2.
Is it 2?
No, it's 3.
Because when we did it with Kurt, we did it 17. We did it 16, 17, and
that
then
third year. That
he
third
was
year is the one that
unrestricted free agent.
That third year is the one that's going to be.
Yeah, look it up, but I'm
almost
almost certain they can do a 3. They can do 3 now.
Tagging a quarterback is going to be 32.40.
Way more than that.
32 point. Oh my God, 32.416 million. That's what it's going to cost to tag a quarterback. All right.
Now the question is he going to be? Is he going to be? What's the terminology they use? Exclusive or non-exclusive?
Exclusive, non-exclusive, or transition. Right. So,
well,
I believe that's going to be probably going to be exclusive, because if you go if you go non-exclusive, that means that you can tag them, and then someone else can come in with a better bid and take them away from you.
Yeah.
And you'll get a comp pick for it. So for Lamar Jackson, for me, I'm going to say he's going to play on that franchise tag this year because some quarterback this year will go over 50 million guaranteed. Right? And that probably is going to be Joe Burrow, the first one. Transition tag is cheaper. Transition tag is cheaper is what Metaphor is saying. Say it. What are you doing? Are you tagging him, trading him, or sign and trade?
I was trying to pull up the cap space right quick so I can see.
Mm-hmm. Does it matter if it's a what type of tag it is?
Yes,
because with the non-exclusive,
as far as being consecutive, I think that's what Seth was looking at.
They only got 24 million in cap space, so his number is going to be a killer.
With the franchise tag number, it's going to be a killer. It's going to hurt. You're going to lose some players.
You're going to lose more than some players.
Yeah, you're going to lose some players.
Because as I look at their list of unrestricted free agents, and restricted free agents, it's extensive.
Yeah.
And they just signed that linebacker to that big money.
They just signed Roquan Smith.
That's crazy.
They brought inside linebacker Britt Urban
So what are they
and
going to
cornerback Daryl Worley.
You can restructure some contracts. You can restructure.
I think they want to trade him for picks.
I can tell you one contract not going to be restructured. But his own agent, the linebacker, he'll be out of there fast. You can make eye.
Well,
I'm just telling you the truth.
So what are you doing? What are you doing with Lamar Jackson?
You're gonna have to tag him. You ain't no choice.
Why can't you sign him?
He's the centerpiece of your offense.
Unless you need to sign him.
Huh? Wait. Let's go back. Who is their head coach?
Harbaugh.
And what did he say he wanted to do? Does he want to move on from him?
No.
Because
they're not going to get rid of him.
I was going to say, when he say that?
No, I'm not saying he did. But they always try, especially when it comes to the quarterback, they'll try to give the head coach what he wants or needs.
Yeah, but also you got to remember too that Baltimore paid Flacco a ton of money,
and it put them disgusted by.
It put them in cap hell for a long time, right? Mm-hmm. But you cannot compare Flacco to Lamar. They're two different talents. Lamar is
good,
a proven commodity,
MVP, right? And Flacco was, hey, Flacco. I'm trying to. You can't spell a league without Flacco.
Went on a great run one year in the playoffs,
right? Yeah. So if you sign him, you could absolutely have his guaranteed money and all that good stuff. But you could push that number down so it gives you more abilities to put that good team out there. So I'm going to say they come to some type of agreement and they sign Lamar Jackson. Lady A, who do you have?
Daron Payne.
Daron,
the future
Payne.
Cowboy.
What?
Why do you want to get her upset?
He shoots.
No, I'm not. Hey,
listen.
I'm just wondering, with all the stuff that y'all need to address, where y'all gonna find the money to pay Daron Payne? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
They looking at tagging them.
Can I start this one off? Can I start this one off?
Guaranteed $14 million.
All right, so
if y'all tagging,
and he gonna get more than that.
Defensive line, defensive tackles are 18.937 million. Okay. You're not going to tag Daron Payne. The reason you're not going to tag Daron Payne is for this reason. If you tag Daron Payne, that's 1 year, right? And then you will have Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and Daron Payne all be unrestricted free agents at the same time.
Yeah, because y'all ain't got no cap space either.
That sounds like a Washington move.
That's not smart. You have to sign him. Sign him. That way you can still plan for the future. Now, here's the good news, though. Is you're looking and you seeing us have how much cap space right now?
Who, y'all?
How much cap space does the Commanders have right now?
$8 million.
$8 million.
$37
$37.
Hey,
okay.
I'm going to welcome to Atlanta.
No, ain't no welcome to Atlanta. Listen, if you cut one Carson Wentz, that's $28 million that you get right there. That's $28 million that you get back. So I'm going to say Daron Payne is going to be signed. I'm going to say Daron Payne is going to be signed.
If they tag him, it's going to cost $19 million.
Pretty much. So
y'all trade away all y'all picks.
Say it. Who you got, man?
Be quiet. Say it.
Say it. Who you got? What you got on Daron Payne?
Trade player. That's all y'all got. Y'all ain't got no choice. Y'all ain't got no money, man.
Oh, so you just gonna pimp us, huh?
I'm just telling you the numbers, player.
Is he worth going into?
I found a new website, player. They show it all.
I mean,
so what you telling us?
I got it broken down right now by all y'all free agents, unrestricted, exclusive free agent, and restricted free agents.
What site you on? Pick?
1, 2, 3 exclusive, huh?
What site you on?
Overthecap.com.
Yeah, we was on there last year. We was on Over the Cap last year.
No, we was on Spot Track.
We was on Spot Track and Over the Cap.
But anyway, Y'all ain't got no money, player.
Say it.
You
Say it.
said
Say
you
it.
arguing about new things.
Read this comment.
Hold on.
Read this comment. Read this comment right here.
Anyway,
Say it. Read that comment.
McKenzie gone. Longer term is gone. Okay.
Hold on. Wait. What's that last part right there?
So now you got 18 million.
That's
No,
another
no, 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 no.
18 million.
That's not
They did a
18 million.
Carson.
18 million.
Plus
That's
Carson-
one franchise tag.
Carson is 28
Carson's
million.
gone.
He's Gazon.
That's too much money.
That's
We'll
a
see.
lot of
EB
money saved.
EB might say he can do something with Carson. Who knows?
Plus, I got another player from
You
the
said
Commanders.
who
Okay,
said what?
so Ant, what do you got, man?
I started off. I said Lamar.
What a
No.
For another person?
For Deron. For Deron.
Well, welcome to Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. He's not. You guys don't have the money, and I'll tell you what. You just said y'all not gonna tag him. That's the most realistic thing. I don't see you guys signing him to a long-term contract. You guys got a lot of decisions to make on that line, and he's not the most consistent either to guarantee. I mean, you got to start thinking, why is he put in this position? Most guys, you're looking to already start trying to sign them on their third, fourth year. You don't let them get to the fifth.
Yep.
So it doesn't sound great. It doesn't feel good, but I don't think he stays in that building. That's all I'm saying. Not even saying he's got to go to the Cowboys. I'm just saying seriously. Come on, that y'all like playing Russian roulette, man. You got Chase going on his fifth. You got this guy. It's just I mean, come on now. If those are your guys, you solidify them and you pay them.
Metaphor says it's gonna be 45 million. Lady A.
So Ant was talking about how smart it would be to do this and do that. I think he forgot who's running the team. And this is my team we talking about. They're not smart.
I know. That's why y'all go. That's why y'all go end up having all them guys unrestricted free agents next year.
But you saying
at the same time, that's what
why
you're saying.
would they wait until his fifth year? Hello, did you not see our coach not know where we were going at the end of the year? Did you not see that our owner has been all over the continent and in the middle of the ocean?
Yacht Club.
He was in Tel Aviv.
And not here at all, just to avoid being questioned by the government. Like, come on now.
Where were you when I needed you?
I mean, this is my team, and I can honestly say they're not smart. They're not going to do. They need to sign him. They are probably not.
Okay. She's saying sign him, but they probably won't. All right, say it. Give us a player. Say it.
So if you cut him. I'm looking at y'all. I'm looking at what's on y'all joint. If y'all cut him before June 1st, that's $26 million in dead money.
You talking about Carson?
Yep.
Yeah, we need to cut him regardless.
That's $26 million. You only got $8 million right now.
You said $26 million in
so
dead
how much
money?
they saving this year?
There's nothing. He don't have no what's the name this year?
Yeah,
he don't have no guaranteed money this year. Said.
Yeah,
he's on capcut.com. He's telling you what the site is saying.
He said
over the cap. My bad. Over the cap.
Capcut.com. Ant is over.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an app, I think.
Hey, I called Ant this morning. He was in the gym working out, so he's still hungry right now.
Okay.
I'm crashing actually.
Who got put in the thing this morning? Hold on.
Wait. Well, can I throw one in there then?
Oh, Fletcher Cox is the one who I said this morning. Fletcher Cox.
You really want to say Fletcher Cox is going to retire?
Fletcher Cox is going to be in somebody's church sitting on the deaconess row or something.
Yeah, the deaconess, like where the females sit?
Yeah, he going to be specializing in ladies suits.
He gonna have a church hat sitting on the deaconess row. That's what
all of y'all going to hell. What y'all saying?
You saw it. You saw his lovely lavender blouse.
I need you two to
with
get
his
into
periwinkle jacket.
Y'all two need to get in the corner. Get in the corner.
And it connected on the side.
Get in the corner. Lady A to the corner.
With no undershirt.
Wait.
No, he had a blouse.
Nipples all out.
You not make
with the underclip.
Right. Yeah. He in
Corner.
that mud just
Corner,
I'm
put losing
sorry.
fancy free.
corner,
I'm
and
sorry.
Oh,
corner.
you know what? I take that back.
Sorry.
I'm looking at it now. They voided his contract, so I can't even say resign.
That's
You're
why
right.
he
He's done.
lost it and was wearing a blouse to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
His contract was voided. They voided his contract, so yeah, he
Fletcher
done.
Cox?
Fletcher Cox is going to retire.
They voided his contract. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Fletcher
Dang.
Cox is going to retire. Let me give you a name. All right. Cam Curl, safety, Washington Commanders. All right. The safeties
Come
cost
on.
$14.46 million. Oh, yeah. Safeties are $14.46 million with the cap, with the franchise tag. All right. Cam Curl is a difference maker. That's why I'm bringing him up, because without him, the Commanders haven't won a game.
What year is his
He
deal up?
was he's not a first round pick, so he is
Oh, yeah, Cam Curl. I found it.
I think
You
next
said
year's
what
his last
year?
year in his contract. So he has one
Yeah.
more year.
So
Metaphor
what are we
says
talking
it's
about
not-
now?
Now,
No, this year's last year's
Yeah,
contract.
man, come on,
Yeah,
man. Let's talk about
yeah,
players right
exactly.
now.
this you mean the year
I just
coming
explained to you why. The
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
why is you just what
2023.
you actually said was, if you see the talent, you sign them early.
up? We not
Right?
smart.
That's
though.
what you just said.
We
Aaron.
don't have smart
Mhm.
people.
So I said that they're going to sign Deron and they're going to tag Cam to try to get a deal worked out. That's what I'm thinking, because he literally didn't play in games and we lost. Matter of fact, we won 2 games without him. The first one and the last one. Other than that, when he didn't play, we lost.
You talking about tagging? They're gonna tag him next year?
This
That's what
year.
you're saying?
No,
They
no,
gonna
he
tag
got
him
one,
this
he
year?
got 1 year left. You ain't tag him this year. He got 1 year
They
left.
gonna tag him? And you said
Why
you
would
got a
you-
year left.
Did you not just say, if you notice the talent, that you signed them early?
Yeah, but you talking
you
about
can't tag him
tagging.
if you
You
still
said
got a
tag.
You
year left.
can tag them.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's
So
no
they gonna
rule.
tag-
There's no rule that says you can't tag a person before.
He under contract. Why would you tag him?
That's a waste of money.
That don't make
I'm
sense.
asking.
Vic.
I'm just asking. He's under contract. Why would you tag him?
You just want to talk about a commander. Can we move
No,
on to the other players that we
It's
really
not
want
that
to
this
talk
is
about?
to a
I mean,
commander.
for real. I'm
You're
asking.
killing
I
me,
said
Small.
he has 1 year left in the contract, which is this year. And you said
Come
tag.
on,
Why would you
man.
tag
Deron
him?
Payne
He's
has-
on contract.
The
We
wrong
already
thing
talked
ain't got
about
no
it.
He was
time.
on the 5th year. He has no more time left. That's right.
Yeah, he
Can't
don't
tag
have
Cam.
no
Cam
more
All right.
time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
Okay.
gonna be on his 4th year still.
Okay.
Moving on.
Let's go. Keep it
Tony
keep it pushing.
Pollard.
Tony Pollard,
Good
running
night.
back, broken leg in the last game that he played.
Oh.
Good news is the bone
is
that
he
he broke
climbing?
was the fibula. It wasn't the weight bearing bone, but he also had
Yeah.
some ankle problems. Correct?
Nothing worth talking about. The
It's
biggest
like a
thing
high ankle
was,
sprain that he had.
yeah, I'm like, the biggest thing was that he wasn't going to require surgery, so he has the whole off season to recover healthily. I mean,
Healthily,
Zeke,
is that a real word?
No,
yes, it is a word.
healthy. Hopefully.
All right, y'all want to bet? Stop playing with me with these words. Anyway,
I mean, you
let me keep going. You cut me off after you just had this horrible take of Cam.
Yeah, you're
Curl.
right.
Now
Go
you
ahead,
want to start it.
Oh,
So anyway,
manipulate.
but if you
Yeah.
can't even get it out.
What?
Y'all ain't got no money. Y'all ain't got no money either.
Hold on,
Manipulative.
bro. Hold on,
What?
player. Just calm. Just,
Y'all
let me
ain't got no
get my
money either,
stuff
player.
out.
I
Let
don't
me get
know
my
what's
stuff out.
Come
going
on
Y'all
with
ain't
it.
got no money.
How much
Come
money
on
we
with it,
got?
Ant.
Huh?
How much money we got?
Minus 7 million.
Oh,
Minus 7 million.
Minus
Well,
7
first of
million.
all-
Not 7
first of
million.
all-
Minus 7 million. That means y'all over
I
the
heard
cap
what
right
you
now.
said. I heard what you said. Now
They
let me
about
be
to
clear
cut
about
everybody.
something. Zeke is gone.
They about to
Silver
cut
through
some
the cone.
coaches.
Hold on. Ain't the one that said that we had like $37 and some change?
Yeah, y'all do.
Y'all overdraft.
Now, hold on, because let me tell you what we're gonna do. I don't know how updated this is because we literally had 15
Your bank account
unrestricted.
don't work.
Hold on. We had 15 because what is the cap? What is the actual cap for every
That
team?
number won't be out just yet. That number.
But what was it last year? Let me just ask that. Do you know?
Say it. What was the cap last year?
What's the going cap for the NFL as of last year?
Hold on, let me click back see if it's on here.
Only reason I'm saying that is because Zeke was taking up a lot. We know Dak was taking up a lot. We don't have any other major players under contract. We
Your
got
tight end?
Tyron. We got Tyron we got Tyron. We have Zeke. No, but he was on a tag this year, so he's gone. We're not bringing back the tight end, and both of our rookie tight ends are under rookie contracts. So we're gonna save a lot of money in Tyron Smith and Zeke being post June 1 cuts.
What about Van Der Esch?
And Zach Martin.
What about Van Der Esch?
That's a great question. I honestly don't know. I would like to think that they're going to.
If y'all cut Zeke, you say you say
post June 1, post June 1st.
Let me go to post. I'm on
post June 1st cut.
Let me go to post. Hold on. All right, a post.
Look at Droopy.
I see what Droopy just said.
Yeah, a post June 1st cap it'll cost y'all $4.5 million dead money, but you'll save $10 million.
See what I'm
so
saying?
y'all have $3 million to spend.
See,
anyway, because y'all owe some money right now. So y'all better manipulate that. Y'all better manipulate that.
We just got
out.
We just got off Tony Romo. We stopped paying him just like a couple years ago.
Y'all still paying Collins, and he playing with somebody else.
Who?
Collins. He retired.
Leal played for the Bengals.
Oh yeah, y'all still paying him too.
Oh wow!
All of this stuff after June 1. After June 1, they said we're gonna have like 800,000. So
800,000.
We got 2 weeks to use the franchise tag.
Okay, 800,000. Listen, Ant is fading on us, ladies and gentlemen. Ant is fading on us. Listen, as far as Tony Pollard goes, I think that they're going to sign him. I don't think they're going to put the tag on him. I think they're going to sign the kid. He's one that you can't put a tag on. I don't think you can.
Let me pull a Lady A. Let me pull a Lady A though.
And let me give you the number for running backs. The tag number for running backs is
Tony Pollard unrestricted free agent. They can tag him.
Running backs, $10 million.
Yeah.
10 million.
This is
almost 11 million.
Who's running this team? Because we signed Zeke and he was clearly on his way going downtown. Pause. That came out.
Hey, just be quiet and let Lady A figure this one out. Lady A, what are they doing? Are they signing them, trading them? What are they doing to
Pollard?
Yeah.
And you said it was what, 10 million?
10 mil. 10.091.
They'll tag them. It's cheaper.
All right. Say it. What do you think about Pollard?
They need to sign him.
I think if they tag him, it'll be exclusive to sign him for a long-term deal.
But see, the thing is, it all depends on the draft as well. What falls to you guys at the draft? If what's his name? Bijan, is that his name?
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson.
They still might go get him. They in the playoffs, so they in the back. They in the back of the draft.
26, but they.
No, I'm just curious.
Early draft had him. That's why I was asking y'all how good. Like, because I would think he would be a top pick, but I don't know the running back needs about the other team. They had him fall into us though.
But the thing about it is, unless that running back is special,
he is special.
Like the Jets running back.
No, I'm being serious.
No, like the Jets running back, Brees Holmes. Is that ain't that his name said?
No, Bryce
Hall.
The
Jets.
Yeah,
Brees Hall.
Yeah, Brees Hall.
That was a first round talent. I mean, the dude got Jets. I mean, that's a first round talent. When y'all got Zeke, first round talent, right? Bijan Robinson is very, very special. And he is a first round talent. I don't think he'll be around till 26 though. I think
you know what I heard today on local radio is that the Cowboys are very, very interested in the quarterback for Alabama.
Oh, he ain't gonna be there.
No, they're talking about making a gigantic move, like
to get him.
Yes.
Y'all really? Well, you know what? That would. You know what? You know why that would make sense? Let me tell you why that makes sense.
Because it'll piss Dak off.
No. It would make sense because you would have to give up picks to get him, right? At this point, y'all don't have the money to pay these picks.
Yep.
Wait.
One pick, yes. 8 picks is different. So you never know.
Yeah, y'all
Say
got
it.
enough picks to trade.
That makes sense.
That's true.
Say it. Y'all are forgetting something. Y'all are forgetting that when the cap number goes up, right? The cap number goes up, which means that you get money. So a lot of people, you have to be under the cap number by a certain time. You have to be under that cap number. So there's
Pick.
there's 7 over right now.
They are really in debt. Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Draft.
Yeah, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
much.
I get what you're saying, but you're forgetting they're going to make some cuts. They're going to make some roster moves to get them under the cap number. You have to be under that cap number before.
This is what the people that's paying free agency when they had like 15 people pick. I'm sitting here looking at them.
Like 90.
Listen, they got like 15 people that are unrestricted free agents.
I get it.
Right? Okay. If they were to make a run at number one, it's different having to pay 8 people and having to pay one person.
Okay, so you do know that those 8 rookie contracts, if they have 8 draft picks, that those 8 rookie contracts, that number is still smaller than paying one veteran.
But he's saying that they're gonna get rid of the picks. Okay,
it don't matter.
Hold on, to trade those to get somebody in the draft on a rookie contract. That's what he's saying.
Right. It's easier paying one rookie instead of paying 8 rookies.
You still got to
fill out the money that you're gonna save.
You're only paying one.
But
one,
and then the money you're gonna save on the
you're gonna save what
post cuts.
So you're gonna go get one player when you need a full 53-man roster. I'm sorry, 64, whatever practice squad and all that. And your team's gonna be horrible.
It's called veterans minimum.
And what do you think that's going to get you in the NFL? But
that's what everybody says right now.
That's
what they did last year. Remember they brought in Barr.
That's going to get you 0-17 real fast.
They was one game away from the Super Bowl.
This ain't basketball, said
William. Who's gonna go 0-17?
If you give away all your draft picks for one.
Okay,
who's doing that?
But that wasn't 0-17.
Wait. That's what do you think the Colts are about to do?
It's egregious. Here you
What do you think the Colts are about to do, Pick?
Are you just speaking generally? You're not saying the Cowboys.
What do you think the Colts are about to do?
I'm just telling you.
The Colts are about to send the Bears about 7 picks to get the number 1 pick.
They don't have to send them 7 picks to get the number 1 pick, said.
I'm just telling you.
They don't have to do it. Say it.
The Bears want a windfall for the number 1 pick.
Say it. Where the Colts picking
what they want.
No,
you do what they want pick.
No, you don't.
If I had the number 1 pick, my price is high.
How bad do you want to pick? How bad?
Wait. Hold on. Let me make a correction. Who does Njigba play for?
Ohio State.
Who's their quarterback?
C.J. Stroud.
That's the guy. Not Alabama. They were talking about the Ohio State kid.
He gonna be gone too.
But what they were saying was it could be a smokescreen to try to pull people away from Njigba so they can get Njigba. But they were saying no, they're doing the type of it's a Fish Sports who's like an insider for the Cowboys. He was like, no, they're doing serious, real deal investigation on CJ Stroud. Like they could possibly try to put a package together to really make a push for him. So
real deal.
Yeah.
At this point,
they say the Bears are asking a lot.
And Pick, at this point, what I've been saying about Dak would be 1,000,000,000% true. They see
1,000,000,000% true, huh?
1,000,000,000%
That's what they say.
True because they know they can't win with him. So why not leverage your draft on your future quarterback? And guess what? If Dak don't cut the mustard, you're gonna owe some money. But you got a guy on a rookie contract that if he develops correctly, like I said, in a couple years, you're looking at a whole different ball game.
So do you think they would try to trade that?
Say it.
It only makes sense to me. That's what I've been saying. I never said cut Dak. I'm like, you have to get something for him, and you can get something for Dak. There's a lot of teams that will take Dak in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that could also be the leverage as well. I'm not only giving you picks, but depending on how we doing it, Dak may be a part of the equation.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. You know what I'm saying? I just think that as you work with Stephen Jones, he's getting that he's starting. He's not like Jerry. Jerry is just, I love my players. I think they're amazing. That's not Stephen. Stephen wants to take a very New England Patriots approach to drafting and to paying players now. And so I think this is a part of that process.
All right, listen. Hold on. Listen. So there's this thing called draft points and stuff like that, right? Where shit, I hate this site. Oops. Sorry.
What is going on?
Okay.
We're buzzing at the flames.
The Chicago Bears.
Stop it. And
the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears have the number 1 pick. The Indianapolis Colts have the 4th pick, said. All right, so for instance, Indianapolis Colts, their point value for the first pick is 3,000 points. With the Colts being the 4th team, their point value is 1,800 points. So the draft compensation for that is not all of your first round, on that 7 first round or 8 picks.
I don't think he was being literal on that, though.
We're just moving up 3
I'm just
spots.
telling you, it's going to be more than one.
Where are they projecting? Can I just ask, where are they projecting CJ Stroud to go?
That's like, matter of fact,
I don't even know. I haven't started doing draft work yet.
I
haven't started doing draft work yet, but I'm just saying.
Let me bring my calculator.
2 games left in the season.
You want to make me do a little work here? I don't have to do this today, but I'm going to have to show you something now. Hold on.
I'm just saying.
I'm be honest.
I'm
kind of disappointed.
You brought it up. Bring my calculator up.
And so
look a minute.
Pick.
Look a minute. So what? Say
First String After Dark. This all started with Lady A and her show about women. Yeah, this all see now we talk about After Dark. Now I'm gonna have to come in with suspenders covered up with nipples and all that.
If you don't go sit down, that is not what we about to do.
But Pick, you heard me? I'm disappointed in you. You should have been starting the draft process 2 games left in the season, sir. You should have already been started. Now
when I say my draft process, listen, when you're about to find out, you're about to get some of this homework too, player.
I didn't see that.
When we start doing our draft homework, we get knuckle deep in this draft, and then say it goes a little further than all of us. So,
I go a little deeper. I go a little deeper below the waist.
Hey.
I already got away with knuckle deep, but you.
No, you really didn't, because I looked at you like, what?
All right.
So right now,
barely paying attention.
That's their first round pick, their second round pick, their third round pick, and their 4th round pick
to move up. No way, say it. No way, say it.
I got the numbers right here. I mean,
you brought up points. You brought up the points. Now you gonna argue with stats and facts.
Their first pick is 1,800 points, right?
Right.
Their second pick is 550. Their third pick is, I lost my spot. Right.
So hold on, say 1,800 points, and you just got to make up the difference between 3,000, right?
What you think I'm doing, Pig?
And we are not.
I just told you I broke out the calculator, right? You're not listening. Come on,
let's say they got 2 second round picks. They have 2 first round picks as well.
Who got 2 first round picks?
Indianapolis. I just got off the site.
I'm on. You know I'm on the site, right? The same one you're talking about.
Matter of fact, I think that's Carolina. My bad.
See, here you go.
I said I just got off the site. I just got off the site.
Their first round pick is 1,800. Their second round pick is 550. Where'd I go? Their third round pick is made me lose my spot.
Hold on, say it. I'm coming in.
It's 195. Right? Their 4th round pick is 84.
I'm gonna have to get off of it.
Their 5th round pick is 37. They're still less than 3,000. It's still less than 3,000, player.
Wait.
The first, second, and third. The 4th round is 24. Is 25.
So 45. The one that you're on.
I'm the one that says draft points.
Pick is freezing.
So it's based off of a system. It ain't even like teams don't just ask stuff. It's just based off of a system.
They could ask for a ransom from Indianapolis because Indianapolis doesn't have very many picks. and it's still gonna be less. They could ask for them. They could ask for the first 4 pick plus players, and still be under that 3,000. I just go by the numbers.
So the picks are what make it a premium,
right?
The picks, yeah. So they could do it. Don't forget, you could always give away draft picks for the future as well. Say it to make up some of those picks. So you can give up 2 first.
I'll be bringing this heat over here.
Say it, but you can give up 2 first this year and next year's first.
Right.
What did he say?
Yeah, I'm just giving you an example. The example that I'm giving is what I said. The example I'm giving is they're gonna have to give up multiple picks to get number 1 because the number 4 pick is only 1,800. The number 1 pick is 3,000, like you said. Right. I'm just going off the numbers. I'm not making this. I'm going off the numbers.
Yeah, but and then you could always throw some plans in there too.
The number from round 1 to round 4 comes to 25-45. So are we gonna go to next year as well?
Well, you ain't got to give the whole 3,000. All you got to do is make up the difference because you can also make up the difference by swapping picks too.
Right.
If you swap,
but still,
that's true. You come back.
I'm in the driver's seat. I'm not swapping Jack Dizzle.
What you think you're gonna get the first pick? And
hey, you want the first pick,
right? So
I need something. I need some of value to get me to 3,000 points.
Say right? You're gonna get my first round pick. I'm gonna get yours, right? So now that's 1,800 I just gave you back, and then if I give you my first round pick next year,
but see that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna have to give up a second.
Which is what I just said.
And you can give up a second.
Come on, bro. Come on.
You can give up.
Which is what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you.
Picks.
This year, if they only want this year,
say it.
What?
Say it.
I'm reading it to you, bro.
Say it.
Straight off the sheet.
Say
Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna print this out.
Say it. He gonna print it out. Like I'm gonna come to the house
to pick it up.
I'm gonna print this out, players.
Oh my god.
Say it.
We going through this one.
They say he only dealing with picks from this year. He ain't dealing with no picks from the future.
What I'm saying. I mean, I know what you're saying, Pick. But what we were saying earlier is they're going to have to give up a ransom to move up to number 1.
Well, okay.
Even if it's next year, they're going to have to give up picks.
But say it that's a given. But if we swap picks, right, that's half of the points right there.
I know. I did the math, Pick. That's what I'm telling you. I did the math about swapping picks.
But what he's saying,
can you get the show back on track, please?
Man, look.
No, he better not. No.
You know what? I got it today, Ann.
No, say it if you don't. I need something to hit these people.
But nah. But no, what he's saying though is even with the swap, it's still going to cost you a second, a third, and a fourth.
It's going to cost you, but it's not going to cost you a second, third, and fourth. That's dealing in just strictly this year. But if you get my first next year, you get my first this year. That makes up half of it right there. So the only thing I may be giving up now is my second round pick.
It's no
and maybe a second the following year.
But see, the thing
you don't have to. You keep putting it all in this. You don't have to put it all in this year.
I see what you're saying, but let me point this out. The pick this year at number 4 is 1,800. If you make the playoffs next year, that same pick is only 600 points.
With a rookie quarterback, and to tell you the truth,
forget the rookie quarterback pick. You're not listening to me.
To tell you the truth, you're
not listening to me, Pick.
I would make this play. I would make this play since the Bears are talking about if you wanting to stay there. Give me just
for example. If you end up where the Cowboys ended up at, that pick is still only 700 points for next year. So you still got more money to add to the pot.
You don't know what it's going to be next year.
I'm just giving you an example. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying what it's going to end up. I'm just giving you an example. If you talking about I'm getting a first round pick for next year, that could be a late round pick.
You know what? Philly did it.
It could be conditional.
Hold on. No, that's the NBA. What? Stop it.
They do conditional all the time. What do you mean?
That's the NBA. Because Philly,
they do. NFL does conditional as well.
Say it. Where's Philly picking at this year?
Round picks.
Say it. Where's Philly picking at this year?
Philly's picking at in the top 10.
Yeah, they are. Why say it?
Because they got multiple picks from the trades they made.
That's right.
That proved my point.
What do you think? Got a top 10 pick.
And they was in the Super Bowl.
And that go, but see, that pick goes by the person who they got it from.
That's who they made the trade
which
with.
is New Orleans. New Orleans was garbage.
We already
It wasn't New
said
Orleans. It wasn't New Orleans. It was
we already said 500.
I'm just saying, say
No,
it.
that
So
wasn't New
listen,
Orleans. I
you
take
can
that
make
back.
these trades, and you don't know where you're going to land
Ain't
at.
nobody
So,
hear you.
so Philly made a great trade. The team was garbage, and they there.
That
And
wasn't New Orleans. I had to
Hey,
go back and see what that. I had to go back and
listen.
see who gave that pick.
hey, we'll get into more draft talk. Maybe we'll do
I'm still
some of
gonna
this
print
stuff
this out
on Saturday.
as soon as we get off.
Yeah.
Who's coming to get it? Say it.
Who's
Who's coming to
He
get
gonna
the
mail
print
it
out?
Tag it to the wall.
He gonna mail it to you. Okay.
You gonna look at these points.
He gonna put it on your car like a club flyer. He is going to make sure you get it.
Hey, I got time to drive through there.
Yeah, you do. Hey, you do have time. Please, just don't do it when it's raining. All right, look,
Oh, for sure.
for sure. Hey, for those of y'all that stuck with us this far and through this draft ready, just get ready because it's coming, man. We got more of it. We got you guys covered. Did you like the XFL? It was great. We're gonna have some XFL picks for you guys on Thursday. We'll have some XFL picks for you guys on Thursday. Droop cashed a gang of checks tickets this week. So good job, Droop. Man, we didn't cover the defenders, but it's okay. We could always save
They
it
won. That's
for
what
Thursday.
we know.
And Lady A, but you're gonna have to give us the full breakdown of the experience of the XFL on Thursday. And
Yes.
Ant's gonna be prepared to give us 5 good minutes on Thursday as well. And
Sad face. What?
you don't want Ant to give us 5 good minutes? Look, he's tired. Ant's tired. He's all tuckered out. He worked in 17 days.
Hey, we ain't think about Sid.
Hey, this like a
I ain't
food player. My bad.
Sid.
Hey,
It's like
You
a
say
food
what?
player. My mind is all
like a food.
like a food
I
player.
got you.
The hunger's kicking in.
Right now, my mind is going like Doctor Strange. I got a bunch of stuff going on up there, Sid. I'll be thoroughly attacking you on Thursday.
And thoroughly attack and say it. That's right. Ant's gonna bring us the NBA version of 5 good minutes. So this will be great. 500 subscribers again. Thank you all. Thank you, Go Caps, and we appreciate it. Don't forget to tell a friend. And if 500 of y'all tell one friend, if 500 of y'all tell one friend, man, we get to 1,000 by tomorrow. Make sure they subscribe. I'm just saying.
Go to the
Just
corner.
do it. Just tell your friend to subscribe and get us to 1,000 tomorrow.
That is funny.
I mean, isn't that true?
No, that's not what he laughing
No.
at. No, don't worry, but just keep going. Okay, really? We gonna put this on this?
How about we go 5 numbers?
That is funny, yo.
5 numbers.
It's not funny.
Metaphor.
That's terrible.
You're
You
right. It is hilarious.
You get to your corner, man. Listen,
Immediately.
hey, I appreciate y'all, man. We really do appreciate y'all for Sad, for Lady A, for Aunt Mo. Thank you all. We want to send a big thank you to Chris Russell, for joining us today. And we will see you all on Thursday. Don't forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit that bell to enable alerts for new content just like this. Thank you. Say it. Shouts out to my son who's in the United States Air Force. First String Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Tell him, say it.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Ready for your beats? Our first song is the person.